Hi guys, welcome back to the barn. Hope you're all well. So that is the major components cut roughly for that wall. They're the vertical studs, 400 centres and a tannalised piece for the base, because I'll be coming in here with wet feet, wet tractor tyres, so I don't want the bottom to rot out over time. So I need to get them fixed in position, plumb, level, and then I can insulate the cavity and board the face. Quite looking forward to getting that done. But first, because winter is drawing in, already we've started to see changes in autumnal colours here, which looks absolutely marvellous. But also we've got colder nights, cold mornings. The mid part of the day is quite nice when the sun's out, but it's certainly getting colder and colder. So I'm going to look ahead to heating this space before the winter comes. So today we're going to unbox and look at this Hcalory heater that Vanguard have very kindly sent me. Now this is new stock for them, it will be on sale soon. So this video will be an early look at this machine. So firstly, let's unbox it, see what's actually contained in the packaging, and then we'll put it together and have a little run with it. Well, straight away this looks very robust. It's a metal body. We've got the filling on the top. We've got a mark from 0 to 5 litres. We've got a huge on-off remote. Batteries included. Intake, electric intake, heat out, control unit. In the box we've got comprehensive instructions in lots of languages. For those in English, it's page 1 to 23, so we've got 23 pages of instructions. In this little box we have some electric cables, some part of the exhaust system, silencer, some more of the exhaust system, various nuts, bolts, Jubilee clips, the little air intake unit, the air out unit with a flexible extendable pipe, and then this part here, which I'm quite excited about, which is the power pack. Some of you may recall last year I opened another diesel heater, and the only issue with that diesel heater is it didn't come with a power supply like this. Now this I can plug straight into the mains, or in my case straight into my power bank. The other one I had to buy an additional transformer to step down from mains electric to a DC 12 volts. So you had to know a little bit about electricity, and I had to go and research this unit. With this, it literally is plug and play. Mains, back of the unit, and we're good to go. So this is the underside of the heater, and these are the exhaust, the diesel inwards pipe, the fuel pipe, and the air intake pipe. Now I've noted there's a couple of things that the instructions don't show. Firstly, it shows the exhaust going into the underside of the machine. It doesn't actually say which hole it goes in. And secondly, it doesn't show in the packing list this piece, this solid piece that goes in there, and then there's a little bracket that fixes that in. Now all these diesel heaters seem to be configured in a way that the air intake and the exhaust system comes out of the bottom, which is a bit of a shame really, because it means you can't just sit them flat on a surface. Now this does have a mounting kit in the pack to mount it on a surface. Neither does it show on the instructions the installation of the air intake pipe and air filter, and it doesn't say on the instructions whether it's an optional or not. For the sake of this video I will fit it. The smaller pipe that is the air intake, I was searching for it and I realised it's in here. Now this is always more fun to put on because you need to get in there to side fix the Jubilee clip, so I'll do that with a socket set. Okay, so we've got the exhaust system fitted, we've got the air intake system fitted, it's got its 4 little legs on, we've got a little bit of bracketry left, we've got 2 Jubilee clips, there for the heat out unit. I'm not going to put that on just now, and also I've just got a set of nuts and bolts, tech screws, which is just bracketry to hold the pipes, the exhaust to a substrate. 2 electric cables left. That one's to connect it to a battery, which we're not going to do, so I don't need that for now. And this is an extender for the front face, which we'll look at in a minute. We can plug this in and put some fuel in. Now I'm going to fire it up for the first time in here, which is really not recommended. When I come to fit it, the exhaust will be on the outside. I will leave the air intake on the inside, or at least I did with the other one. It seemed to spark a debate whether the air intake should go on the inside, the warm side, or on the outside, the cold side. I had it on the inside. It was underneath that plasterboard cover, so it wasn't really getting any dirt and dust in there. Let me know your thoughts. So I'll plug this in the back of the unit, and then this can plug into my battery. I guess we should put some diesel in it first. It's got a 5 litre capacity, it's got a little filter on. It's got a 5 litre capacity tank. One of the main features of this is the efficiency of the little engine. On a 5 litre fill, it can last 11.8 hours, and depending on what heat setting you've got it on, it will burn somewhere between 180 millilitres up to about 420 millilitres per hour. So let's put some diesel in, turn it on, see what happens. I'm going to stand this here, I'm going to open the back window, the 2 front doors are open. When I come to run it properly, I'll use my CO2 emission heater. I won't turn it on now because the exhaust will trigger that. It also says in the instructions, because it's new, the first few minutes expect it to burn off oil and residue that's on all the parts, so it's going to be a bit smelly and a bit fumy. So I'm going to open all the windows. There's some nice breeze blowing at the moment, so it'll blow all the fumes away, and I'm only going to run it for a few minutes today because I need to find somewhere permanently for it. My plan is somewhere under this window on the outside with the heated pipe on the inside. I think I know how I'm going to do it, but I just haven't got time to do that yet in this build. Now I've not got a full tank of diesel, I've got about 3 litres in here. Now this is left from last winter, and the good thing of course about diesel is, unlike petrol, it stores really well. Okay, so that is on the side, 2 litres. This cable is to extend this cable should you want it far away from the unit. At the moment I'm not too bothered about it being on the face of the unit, but when I mount it properly I'll want this to be on the inside. Window open, exhaust, stood on a piece of plasterboard so I don't set my table on fire or melt the face of the top. Turned itself on, let me see that. Right, we'll let that go through its startup. Hopefully I've just pressed the on button, I've done no more. It's blowing cool air out of here. At the moment it's cycling through its warm up. Now from experience of my other heater, it takes a couple of minutes just to go through a startup before the engine actually kicks in and it starts throwing heat out and the exhaust starts throwing emissions out. As you can see there, just got just under 2 litres. Okay, so that's into its priming cycle, so it's now pulling the fuel through into the engine. And if you can hear, this fan's gradually getting stronger. It's getting louder and it's getting faster. Now I've just turned the lights off in the workshop. That's actually pulling up around about 100 watts, 108, 111 watts during that startup. It's just kicked up a steps. That hair now coming out of there is lukewarm. What's coming out of the exhaust is lukewarm. So it's probably been running about 2 minutes at this point. So if you can see that, there's the first puff of smoke coming out of the exhaust system. And as we can see, we've got a bit of smoke coming out of the body of the unit as well. That now is getting warm. Come out of the workshop for a few minutes and just let that burn off. Hopefully it's not going to set the workshop on fire. It's actually quite warm now. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's actually quite nice out here. It's probably about 22 degrees. It'd be nice if it was really cold, but wow, that's a lot of burn off. Okay, so that took about 3 minutes to go through its initial startup process, and then it's been running now for about 10 minutes. All the smoke's gone. Obviously still not advisable to be in there with the emissions, but all the residues have burnt off all the parts and the wind's taking it out of the workshop. So I thought we'd have a look with a little presser to turn it off. On this little remote I have a on, off and up down, so I can turn the temperature up and down and I can turn it on and off. So hopefully on a really cold day I can get up, and while I'm having my morning cup of coffee I can turn the heater on. When I get into the workshop half an hour later it'll be nice and snug and warm. So let's just have a look at how this works. So as I press the up temperature, the temperature goes up. As I press down, the temperature goes down. I can turn it on, and if I press the off button it says off, and it will now go through its cool down cycle, and that will take about 3 minutes. It will suck cold air into the machine and cool the machine down properly before it turns off. So it's quite important that you don't turn the machine off at the socket until it's gone through that process. So it's now going through the part of the process where it actually sucks air in, blows it through the system, cools it down. So I'm stood directly behind the camera now. The camera is 16-18 inch away from the fan. I'm stood directly behind it, so I'm 30 inch 800 or 900 millimeters away from the fan. My microphone's on my shirt, so this is the kind of background level that you hear when you're stood 3 feet away from it. People ask me with my other machine, was it too noisy? And I don't actually think that it is noisy. Certainly once it gets to temperature and the thermostat's just keeping the room ticking over at a temperature and it starts and stops, you never notice it. And to be fair, I mean, a wood shop anyway, I've got other machines running, so you never notice the noise of these things. Once that's finished its cool down, we'll have a look at the app. Now, I downloaded the app a little while ago. As you can see, it's just actually says this device is shutting down, do not power off, this process lasts for a few minutes. So it connects very easily via Bluetooth. So once it's actually shut down, we'll start the heater up again with the app just to see how that works. Okay, so it's now cooled down. It took about 3-4 minutes to go through that cool down cycle. Let's just try and boot it up via the app. So I'll turn the app on. Straight away it says it's connected. It's actually telling me the ambient temperature in this workshop is 24 degrees and the body temperature of the aluminium engine is 48 degrees. Now I've got two choices here: blow wind, which is mostly what I do, or heat. So let's press the heating button. Do I want to activate the device? Yes, I do. Screen turns on. The machine turns on. It says here that it's going through its ignition sequence. Okay, so it's started to go through its turn on sequence. The camera's been running here for 2 minutes and 25 seconds, so this is noticeably quicker getting to this point. First ever outing. The heat is already warming from the phone, I've got the option to turn it up and down 6, 7, 8, 9. And as Jamie Oliver would say, full whack. And we're off. Within 3 minutes and 38 seconds, we have got warm air. Now, can I also... do I wish to deactivate? Yes. There we go. We're off and we're back through the cooling. Okay, so that is the first look at this Hcalory diesel heater. Looks really nice, works really well, but for the first time running, it really smokes, so please do it outside. I should have done it outside. Obviously, when it's installed, that needs to be outside. I think I'm going to put it all outside. This is going to be great in the workshop for keeping me nice and warm and giving me the inspiration to come in here and create content over the cold winter months. Thank you for Banggood for sending me this. The links are in the description should you want to look at it in further detail. There actually is more than this in the range. This is made with the fuel tank and the burner all in one unit, but there is different models depending on how you are going to use this. If you're going to put it in a camper van and want the fuel tank away from the main unit, for example, then there is different models. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if so. Consider subscribing if you'd like to see me try and burn my workshop down in the future. And until next time, bye.